I just
No.
and we're live.
Grace is still there.
What's up, YouTube
All the
world?
big wigs. They
We
ain't
got my man
very
Tone in the
sweet.
chair today. He's actually one of the barbers here at Colors Barbershop. Watch out for his work. He does some very crisp, clean work. Watch out for him. Today we're gonna fade him into a mohawk and with a faded beard.
Remember Mr.
We're
Holmes?
gonna call.
Yeah.
Tall, dark, and all that. He gone. Did he leave while you was there?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he had, where he would go to like, food pantries. He'd go to food pantries to get like bread and stuff.
Right.
And they found out some of the cats in transition was riding with them and getting you free food, which was free for the public anyway.
Right.
And they fired him for that.
Wow.
And baby, man, like, wow. You said the transition cats with them, which they was helping anyway, helping unload and load. And a couple cats would get finger bread here and there, man. You know, you can't do that. We gotta let you go. Man, straight wasn't it?
How'd they find out?
Just they would see them coming up, you know, walking up to their room with the bread or going to the window. You know what I mean? Checking it in. Take out the back room. Put him out there. Remember, remember Miss Williams?
Yeah.
Well, I think she quit.
Okay, I'm gonna start off by just cutting his top down. I got a 2-guard on there. He likes to keep it a little thick, just right in between, like not necessarily afro, but like really thick waves, slightly longer than that. So you get a little bit of length on the top, so you can show you levels of the fade on the side. I'm gonna just do that with the grain. Again, my lever is back all the way down. I just got a pair of Wall 5-star Singers. Utility everyday clipper. If you're not a subscriber, of course, we want you to hit that subscribe button and get our numbers up. Allow us to keep doing what we're doing. If you got questions that you want to ask, no such thing as a dumb question or a bad question. That's actually how we grow. That's why we're even taking time to do the videos.
Wow. Oh, wow. This phone is 32 or the old one?
Oh, this one's 8.
Okay, so there's my 2 up top. That's just to kind of get where we need to be. There's a foundation as far as just the top.
You good, Paul. Shoot, I'm running behind anyway. I'm probably about 5 to 10 minutes behind anyway, bro. So you good. No rush. Don't catch no tickets on account of me, you know?
Now, one of the easiest ways I like to approach a cut like this, I'll take the top down a lot of times just to kind of establish where we're going to be. And I'll really go straight towards the back and front lineup. That's something that helps me kind of pull my work together so it don't turn into like more than what it necessarily needs to be, right?
Yeah.
Again, I like sections.
You go far out as that.
We used to do those videos. Fading is easiest, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You'll see us take ahead and break it down into sections, left side, right side, ear to ear, 4 quarters. Things like that. I'm still thinking that way, but I want to say, hey, what's some things I can get out of the way that'll make this haircut easier, not necessarily faster. I don't really go for speed. I want to go for detail.
Likewise, sir. I'm still here, man.
I'm gonna put his lineup in along the back, and I'm gonna barely tap the front. We can detail the front later. And watch how easy this haircut is to knock out.
No, sir, he isn't here. Who, Mr. Harrington? Yeah, no, he isn't here. Does Glenn got a number?
I tell him to call him back here.
I'm sorry.
About an hour.
What's that, bro? I sure will. Oh yeah, for sure, bro. It's good talking to you too, man. I appreciate you, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm rolling.
Yeah, we're doing, these are kind of like, I mean, it's obviously a real haircut, kind of trial and error. We're trying this YouTube live. Let me know how you guys like it. I love it. We've been kind of geeking out, doing some trial runs from, I guess, over the last week or so. The cool part is if you got questions, you can ask a question. Just type it in. It'll pop up on my screen. If I see it, I can answer it right now. If not, immediately after the video, we can jump right in. So we can kind of solve the problem of a lot of you guys asked questions over the last couple years and that.
Like she has to do like 5 different things.
May not get right back with you. So this is
Like if
a
somebody calls,
different approach.
she has to go to the home page, go into the phone.
All right, so see how clean the line is. I'm just tapping it,
whoever's
pulling away from it.
go into there.
Once I set my line, I'm a fan of set your line in. Don't drag your trimmers, especially if you got a pair of sharp trimmers. These are, I nicknamed them Thunder Crunch 3000s. You
I
know?
was like, so.
I'm saying you had your babies, right? You had your ones that you love the way they hit. You don't want to touch it. This is actually an older pair of trimmers. I had a GTX blade on there. I adjusted it so right, so where I can just touch it and it literally just zaps the hair exactly where I want it without scarring the skin. So if you got sharp trimmers, I wouldn't drag them down the back of the neck. Place your line there and then flip them upside down and you can clean up your excess. But after all, only thing you really need a sharp pair of trimmers for is to create that initial line. And it doesn't have to be super clean, even because don't forget you can come back with your razor, of course not on the back of the neck, but use the trimmers to create the line and let's prevent skin.
Like green or red cat.
From Brazil, my man. Appreciate you chiming in. I'm trying to increase my cutting speed. Any tips? Get a watch, a cheap watch from Walmart, G-Shock, or the fake G-Shock, either one. No. I buy these Walmart watches a lot of times for real. Just it doesn't have to be Walmart, but an inexpensive watch and put yourself on the clock. That gives me the ability to set it here. I mean, you know how it works, common sense. And I can put myself on the clock and say, let's see how long this will take. It's different for me because I'm teaching. I want to make sure I'm thorough enough to be clear and cover all the bases with you guys. But yes, starting point and a stopping point is something that helped me. Whoever asked that question.
What's up, homie? What's up, homie?
You gotta think this is a lot of work if you don't break your work down. See how his beard is? Very nice beard, grows in real full, but you can have a meltdown if you say, hey man, I get 10 customers like this that come in and they want the work. They want a full detailed haircut, beard trim, so you gotta get a method to your madness. Me, my favorite starting point is the left side, because the hair grows from right to left. You look at your calic or your whorl area. Most sides, the fades are gonna sit a little bit different. Most customers are gonna sit a little bit different on each side. So I work from the left to the right. Me personally, of course, I come from the barber school arena where I was doing a lot of teaching. I had to teach a crowd of people, customers, and maybe people in there that students who started that day cutting hair, never touched a pair of clippers, and you got people who got a lot of basing habits. So I would give them a starting point. We are all going to start on the left side. You can come up with shortcuts and do whatever the heck you want afterwards. But if you're concerned with time, start at the same place every time. Of course, I cut the top down. That's just like, don't really count that step. And I'm gonna work from the left to the right. So I knock my bottom line up from the bottom of his chin all the way around his ear. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. That's one less thing I gotta do at the end of the haircut. Another thing you can do is write your steps down. I was looking through some old paperwork a couple days ago. Once we get everything going, get our subscribers back up, we can start having fun. I'll pull out some of the old paperwork and even some of the old charts I would use in the school arena, where it's saying 20 steps or less. how do you do this particular haircut? If I gave you that assignment or whatnot and say, hey, this customer here, my man Tone, he sat down in your chair, said he wants a really tight faded mohawk on the side, a little shorter on the top, so it ain't like real long, but just a little bit length so you can see the color from dark to light. Where would you start at? What's step number one? There's no right or wrong answer, but for you, what's step number one? I can make all the suggestions. Because that's one big thing when I was in barber school, I really didn't know. Where do I start? I was all over the place. And then when it comes to stopping, I had no stopping point. And I know my old barber instructor, he would joke around. He's like, man, I see that question here, tips on getting trimmers to hit hard. Let me finish this conversation when we get to that. The barber instructor, he was like, man, you got a really nice, heck of a head of hair or whatever. You do nice cuts. But I'm concerned whether you're going to make some money. Because by the time you get done, he's going to need another one. They would make these different jokes. And then he's like, all jokes aside, I thought he was kind of picking on me or whatnot. But then he's like, all jokes aside, if you take an hour on every single haircut, there's only 8 hours in a day. How many are you really going to do? To this day, I schedule anywhere from 7 to 10. On a busy day, they might get 12 or 15 out of me. I ain't really in a rush. That's the product I'm selling. I go $20 to $25 is the average haircut for me. I charge $20. I'm just saying consider a tip. You have some people that tip a little more, of course. But I was comfortable with that. If I get 10 in a day, I can make right around $200 without stressing myself out. But if you want speed, make sure you have the detail so you can be competitive. That'd be my best advice. As far as trimmers, the question that popped, what does it say? Tips on getting trimmers to hit hard. I think it has a lot to do with, of course, the trimmer that you use, but more importantly, the touch. I set my trimmers a lot sharper maybe than the average, but if I really press down on his neck and dragged out like I see some students do or some people, he's gonna have webs on his neck, and you know that, right? So lighten up your hand if you're gonna tighten up your trimmers, or if you know you got a heavy hand, back the blade up a little bit so they're not as sharp, so you can dig as much as you want. You know it's gonna get a line there and prevent scarring the skin. All right, so there's my whole bottom lineup. I'm gonna do just a light tap the front line. Of course, I know this particular customer because I'm a barber, so we've been around this before. So learning your customers, of course. People got different requests as far as the front line. Sometimes we wasn't doing the front line. I'm just gonna do a light one, just to tap it. Sorry about that, we're still figuring out some camera angle that maybe you couldn't see from that direction. But I'm just gonna tap it, basically just do a casual line. That gives me just a little bit of a guideline as we're kind of building this haircut, all right? Whatever I do to the left side, do to the right side, just like a math problem. Those are some of the rule of thumbs that I've taught and I kind of live by. Regardless if we're talking about the calves and how the guy broke his leg last night with the Celtics or whatever. Your roadmap to getting that haircut done should be solid inside you. You shouldn't be guessing and jumping all around. All right? And again, even if you don't know a particular haircut or you're not as confident, what you can be confident and should know is say, hey, you do know whether you have a starting point and a stopping point. That's something I was aware of. I know that I did not have one when I was in barber school. I eventually developed a starting point. And again, if you write it down like a recipe, 20 steps or less, 10 steps or less, you'll see where your guesswork is at. You'll say, hey, I don't really know where I start. There's several ways I can start this haircut, but they just keep me kind of constant. Give me like I ain't saying a cookie cutter because you don't want to kill your creativity, but it gives you a little bit more foundation. All right. So I did his back line, I did his front line. I'm gonna save the fun stuff, the detail. Actually, it's gonna be almost bald tapers, and we're gonna fade that beard out real nice look, where you basically see the levels on the beard and the levels on the top. All right. Now let's start our fade. I'm gonna do this with a pair of model 10s. I like the way they fade. So we'll go here. with a 3/0 blade. If you're not using it, Osher Model 10s, treat yourself to those. It's a 3/0 blade. They speak a different language than your guards. Of course, guards are 1 guard, 2 guard, 3 guard. If you're using like walls, and then like 16, 8, 3/16. If you're using like the speedo guard. So basically, you got a language that's being spoken per guard, set of guards, per model of clipper, which can be super confusing, especially for beginners. You already been cutting, you know what I'm talking about. Every different guard you get. You get a 1 guard that's Andis versus Ulster versus Wall. All in 1 guard might hit a little bit different. Right? There's my setup with a triple I. I could have used a closed clipper if I was using like Andis Masters or Wall Singers, right? It's something I used to say all the time when I was teaching in the barber schools, and I still kind of stand on that. The textbook says stuff like every good haircut or every good hairstyle starts off with a good haircut. They're talking more like long hair, maybe some women's cuts. Because that's not always true when you're doing tighter fades and stuff like that. You ain't necessarily going to style his hair afterwards. So they were talking about doing a foundational good haircut is the key to a good hairstyle. I added to that and said every good haircut. Like what happens if you have a bad haircut? Does that mean you got a bad hairstyle? So I say every good haircut starts off with a good setup. Stress that's out of my life is his back line's already done, front line's already done, the bottom of his beard line's done. From here out, I just got fading and any razor work I want to do. So I broke my work down in my own brain. We all do this, whether you talk about it or not. And again, I encourage you, write it down on downtime so you can, kind of study your craft. And really you study where you're guessing at. It'll tell itself. You go 1 through 10 and I get to 2 and I don't know what I do, that's a problem, All right, so I'm gonna go process of elimination and count down from the highest blade I got right here is a 3.5 blade. I don't know if you can see that. 3.5 blade. I'm gonna come down and then I'm gonna go back up with each blade. Come down just in case there's a level in there that I need to hit. It's me versus, my brain says it's me versus all the barbers in my area. It's my fade versus all the other fades this young man has ever had in his life, which is a lot of barbers, right? So I want that reputation, of course, so that's the best fade I got. That'd be nice to hear that. You don't always get that, but that way the work will speak for itself. I'm on a 2 guard, coming down. Okay, so there's my 2 blade. We're just gonna count down back to the 1.5. It's the easiest way I've found to do this haircut. I'm gonna add a lot of detail at the end, but this is all my bulk work. I want to use this clipper only because what was challenging for me, of course I had a decent fade hand on me and didn't really care what type of clippers I used. Some cut better than others, but I know I could fade, right? When you fade with these, the biggest challenge was I didn't know my blades. So I had to go back and study when I first started using the Model 10s. But I didn't really like the 76ers, same company, but they were a little too long, a little too bulky. So I like these. They're handy and smaller, of course, than the 76. I didn't know my blades. I knew my guard. So we have, there's cross-reference sheets. I know it's a lot of fancy language, but there's sheets out there that the companies have. You can pull them off their website, and it'll show you what's equivalent to a 1 1/4 blade. You see what I'm saying? And so I've learned my blades and how they matched up with the guards that I probably could have faded with in my sleeper with one hand behind my back, right? So I just memorize them. I literally stopped and memorized every blade from a 3 1/2 going down to your 5/0, and then you start learning that they're constantly coming out with different blades. I looked at some old, some charts from Andis, and Andis had like a 40 blade. You know, you got texturizing blades, all kinds of stuff. I wouldn't get into that. You need some basic blades. You need your 1 blade, your 1/8 blade, your 1 1/2 blade, your 2, and if you can use a 3 1/2, you can stand to use 3 1/2 because you don't know your clipper and comb as well. Use a 3 1/2 blade. So basically, you can get by with your 1A, your 1 blade, your 1 1/2, and your 2. Okay, see how that line's fading away, and the top will be clipper and comb, or we can use a guard or something if you want to. Any of you guys asking questions? Appreciate that. Let's see if we had one that just came up. I finished the actual cutting fairly fast. I ended up making my cuts an hour trying to make everything perfect. Any tips? You're the same as I am. Charge for it. That's the biggest tip. Take an hour on a cut. I literally schedule 1 haircut an hour. Some barbers, they got their take on that, but my clientele, I never really hurt the clientele. Usually, the people that I spend an hour on, they take a couple seconds out of their time and say, hey, you should go to this really good barber, he takes his time. I heard that more than anything. Do I got a speed cut in me? For sure. Do I want to use it? Don't really know if it's worth it to me. Kids cut, every once in a while I'll say, hey, I can zip through these kids cuts. I can get 3 kids an hour, 4 kids an hour. They're getting the basic cut. That's not the product I choose to sell. I want to sell a detailed haircut. I actually love cutting hair. I love detailing the work. Right? Now, if I can get more in a day, of course, but I don't want my quality to suffer because of that. To get people that you know they can cut hair and they're trying to do 10 haircuts at one time, chasing the money, and they're putting out a different product, right? Or not their best work. But if you concentrate on your technique, for example, if we did, we had a group of 10 barbers or whatnot, and we all did the same haircut, learned it today, went through the same 10 steps, and we had 10 customers a day for the next week or 2. You know you're gonna get faster at it, right? So speed will come, and then how fast you wanna go depends on you. And that's kind of, for me personally, that's kind of why I got into teaching, because I get paid for taking a little longer. You know, you might have 1 haircut. Whenever I was teaching for Andis Clipper Company, you may have 1 or 2 haircuts for 4 hours, and you show them all the stuff that they can do, the tips and tricks. So that's another suggestion. Find an arena that'll pay for that, you know. But if you were watching earlier, the person that just asked that question, as far as speed, what may help too, so you can still be organized, is if you take the time and break your work down. I usually go imaginary line, down the front or down the middle gives me a left side and right side, from ear to ear over the top of the head gives me 4 quarters. I taught that for years. I noticed that helped some of the barber students I worked with in the past kind of not get lost in a haircut, and you can say, hey, I spent so much time doing this, so much time doing that, and you can, you know, time is money. You can give yourself your own raise in this industry. That's what's lovely, and you can look at your time and say, hey, how much time do I want to spend, and am I getting my payoff, like whatever you're comfortable getting for a haircut, you know? Okay, so that left side's about done. We'll do 1 more guard, 1 more blade going. actually the one that put it in there, which was the triple I. And I'm gonna turn it sideways. Textbook's gonna use weird words like slithering, but it's actually just sliding the blade in between the hairs and it thins it out. It works almost like if you ever seen a pair of thinning shears. Thinning shears kind of cut the hair, leaves the hair, same concept. Dark spots you see in your fade, if it's darker, I ain't talking like whether somebody's hair is gray or not, but if it's darker while you're fading, it's usually longer. So you can take those longer hairs and just thin them out, cut them down to the rest of them, and it kind of falls in place. Now what I can do here, slide over here so you guys can see. I'm gonna go clipper and comb just along that top, pulling it out. I still got my triple I, the one that I did the bottom part, the one we started with. See how nice that is? It falls right in place. If you just pull it up, just catch the edges. I can go back in my detail phase and add a little bit more detail if I want to come over with a 2 guard or another clipper or something. You're not getting all the results you want.
You got one though, you got one, bro.
Okay, that brings us to this side. Do the same thing. Here's my 3 guard coming down.
Take your eye out.
Again, I'm fading his right side, but in my world, it's not just the right side. It's breaking off. I'm fading quarter number 3, quarter number 4. That's an easier way to look at it. And together they'll make your right side. You notice the front 2 corners don't look alike, or need to look alike. The left side and right side, and you notice the back 2 sides, the back 2 quarters need to look alike.
So you get lined up.
You notice I'm holding the clipper here. You got almost fade sideways, and then this side, the position may change. You go from here to here, you get a different result. Just how you would do, like, say, if you was getting just waves on the top, all dark wave cut pretty much. You're gonna either go against the grain or with the grain. Same thing with fade. You pay attention to whether you're traveling against or with the grain. The fade will turn out a lot smoother because you're either almost like patting the hair down with the grain, or you're getting up underneath the hair and cutting with your hair going against the grain.
That's crazy, man. I appreciate it. Good seeing you. I'm gonna go out here and say hi to your pops, man.
These are one of the more trending cuts. It could be challenging or an opportunity for you to show your skills. You get a ton of clientele on top of whatever you already got. What's your favorite cuts out there? I'd like to know that. nowadays, 2017, what's the favorite cut for you guys or even for customers? What are you saying in your shop, wherever you at? Let's see what
Shit, hey.
This back can be a little bit tricky because you need to
Gotta
flow in
make
a
sure
circle.
that it's cut.
But I notice if I take my fades a little bit higher here, it kind of helps the size out. If I got a blade on there that I'm afraid it may take a little too long, don't forget with those blades on, you can still use the clip and comb. That's a move that I don't see a lot of students using, or even barbers nowadays. And you'll see a lot of those Odell Beckham type haircuts. It'll be a nice fade on the bottom, and then it'll be a break off. We used to laugh about that line. The textbook would call it like a line of demarcation or something fancy. Basically, we would say, when I was teaching, like for some of the companies and that's the telltale sign that the barber struggles with cutting long hair. You'll see it a lot of times when a female comes in, she got a short hairstyle, she wants a taper. You put the taper in there. At the top of the taper, it's like a big jump. That means you either didn't know your clipper and your comb, or it requires material work. It kind of tells on the barber, or even the stylist. A lot of stylists, they'll do ladies' haircut as much as they can, and they send them to us because they don't know how to finish that. Let's see the next question. What do you got? I'm a home barber as of right now. What lights do you recommend to eliminate harsh shadows when you cut? Funny you ask that because we're fighting that problem here with just shooting the video. I've got our camera set up so we're, of course, daylight or window light is great. Those fluorescent light is good. If you're a home barber, my suggestion would say go to school, with all due respect, because you'll see how important lighting is and some of the things you'll learn while you're at school that'll help put you over the top. Trust me, that's coming from, I was the basement barber, for our neighborhood. And for a long while for this city that I grew up in. So treat yourself to schooling because you can kind of see how to fade. I faded in a lot of shadowy places, from dorm rooms to basements to bathrooms, and to bad barbershops. To sharp shop that when the sun comes up, the shop looks one way. Am I right? Even here, I should have had him answer the question. He worked at the shop for 3 years. And I have a clue, he was in the far station, it was so shadowy, because I thought we had decent lighting in here. I cut in there like one or 2 weeks. It was terrible, especially on my right side. Most of my things look a little sketchy on the right side. I have to turn the chair around. But what do you think about light, Tom?
The more the better.
Yeah, the more the better. That's pretty simple.
The more the lights, the better, man.
Yeah, it definitely takes
Lights coming from the top, not from the side, from the bottom, from the top, man.
Why the top?
So you don't have that shadow. If it's coming from the side and you stand in front of it, you don't have the shadow. But if it's coming from the top, you can't stand in front of it.
Right. Yeah. So there's a little tape, and like you said, he kind of mastered it over here. I did it so smooth, he never complained. I thought everything was cool, because from this angle, it don't look bad. When you actually get over there, we need some lights on that far wall, or something hanging on the top. If you look at some of the old barber magazines, they have those can lights, and almost a lot of times they're green in the old magazines, and they kind of fan out. I'd like to get them. I may install them over the top of the chairs and maybe kill these fluorescent lights. But lighting is definitely huge. If you're fighting that in the basement, get in a shop, a well-lighted shop would be my suggestion. That ain't to kill your basement dreams or nothing like that, but trust me, when I came out of the basement, my haircut, I could see all the detail. They went to another level, Actually, I could see my mistakes too. Thought it was a pretty sweet cut, and then when you come out of that shadow, it tells on you, All right, so not necessarily jumping around. I'm just giving you another camera angle, so I'm standing over here. But I'm counting down my blades. My kids, I'll give you guys a little bit of video. If you see our Facebook, Colors Barbershop, you'll see my kids. I'm teaching them a little bit at a time. My oldest two sons, 16 and 14. They can do a fairly decent taper because I've taught them step by step. Just they don't necessarily use these. Use one guard at a time. Count the guards down. The hair is going to cut different if you come up versus if you come down, which is really if you're cutting against the grain or with the grain. With your comb in your opposite hand, you can get a lot of work done without jumping all around to your spacing. I got a 1 1/4 blade. I can catch that right around the line. Another good tip too that I noticed helped me when I start doing my fade. When I change to the next level lower, I just stay on the line. I don't go up for some reason. When I was in the basement, I used to go up like I had to make it fade. The thing you're trying to fade out is the line, right? So why, when you go to the next level, you should be way up here. You ain't got no business up here. Stay low, and if you feel like that there's something up there that you didn't get and you had your higher guard on there, what makes you a higher guard is your comb. Okay? Comb attachment. In other words, the guards, and you can just slide that on there, and if there's any dark stuff, kind of catch that right now. So that's the advantage of using a comb rather than a brush. Again, this is a challenging haircut, but it can be really easy if you get step by step. Can't stress that enough. Haircut's almost done. I like to hurry up and get all the bulk work done, step by step, so then I can have fun detailing the haircut. That's what I love about cutting hair. That final performance, you know. All right, so let's hit him with a 1 on the side. And as we jump back out here on the YouTube, another one major question I wanted to know is what are you guys struggling with and what do you want to learn? That helps us kind of cut to the chase, and then I give us some ideas about the next video. We're just going to be going live randomly just to kind of get the buzz back on. Ain't get used to how to do live work. If there's anything you want to learn that help your game go to the next level, that's what we're here for. Click the subscriber button. The subscriber button if you ain't already a subscriber, and you'll be amongst 12,000, I think, and 900 some odd barbers. That's our goal, is to get us back communicating around the industry. A lot of the guys I look up to, I am their subscribers, so it's kind of equal and equal. Like Mark the Barber, Casino the Barber, 360G, some of the ones that straight with Big Buzz. That's how we keep the industry alive, you know? Okay, that's pretty much all I'm going to do. Actually, I got one more blade on this side. And then we're going to go into, I'm doing a little bit of clipper and comb, but I'd rather do clipper and comb with a wall clipper. Just show you some options. All right, so that's that. It's the right side. Don't forget, we first took it down with a 2-guard on the top. So any of that, basically kind of like cut the top, cut the sides, bring them together at the end. So any of that 2-guard action up here, that's what that's catching, that little bit of ledge. I went right back to what I initially cut the top with. I went down with it, and I'm gonna flip it up. It should match them two together. And I'll add some clipper and comb work on the side, just because I like to, you know. A little more polish on the blend, a little more butter on the blend. Okay, so see how nice that is?
Yeah, for real, right? So, yeah. So I go, I sit on the trunk of the car and
Yeah, as soon as I switch tools and pick up this other cone, or pick up this taper cone, I get excited in the inside and say, okay, now that's what I want. We went through all our bulk work. You get a sideline in the front here, curve, and you line up on the side, you curving that or straight balling that out. Straight balling out, so no curve, and straight fade to the You see the question I asked him, that was just, that was real important to me on how I treat this fade. This left quarter, this left side, front piece. Because I'm going to take that fade up a little bit higher here, turn it into a ball taper. Fade that a little higher just so that we don't need that sideline.
You know, you can get a sense. You can see your spidey senses will go off. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, I don't know what it is, but you know, but that was real the first time. That's what I'm saying. She threw it straight at me. I'm just being sweet. Yeah, chilling. Chilling. She wants to play like she was
Part on the side and everything. Same last time on the zigzag. Straight back. Midway. Ziggy.
And I say for the
And
most
just I want to hit that right now. That's why I was just saying. Okay, this is what's exciting because once you get that fade, I mean, you'll start visualizing stuff. Of course, he had a part in there before, so I'm gonna drop that in there right now. And the last thing we'll do is, of course, fade his beard, detail his mustache. This would be for me. Took a while getting there, but hopefully you guys learned something. We got a little bit to go. We got to do the same thing on that side. But I'm going to give you a little sneak peek, just in case you guys leave us, how the end result can look. These back quarters can be a little tricky sometimes when you don't get the best fade and you almost, especially on Friday or Saturday, you got a little behind, somebody showed up late, you might have been running late on a haircut or took a long lunch or scheduled too many people. And this back section still deserves just as good as fade as what you did in the front. And I've been in that situation where it's like, man, I really wish I could spend a little bit more time with that, and clipper and comb is that answer a lot of time rather than just your guards. Fighting with it, you can get in there and it'll soften that up, turn your clipper sideways, and you'll get a better blend. I've seen some pretty bad blends, pretty terrible blends around town, and especially some of the high school, college crowd, some of those kids. And those are easy sells. You know, if you got a picture on your business card or something on your Instagram or social media, give them your information and they'll see your blend versus other people's or their barber they went to for years. The fact that you took your time, the guy might have been able to perform that flame, but he didn't take his time, or he didn't know his clipper and comb or something like that. So it's tough to kind of blend it out. Okay, so that's how I'll treat that. Maybe a couple more swipes in this area. Yeah, I noticed that too when I was doing clipper and comb a lot of time. I'd be moving like super fast. Like if you're swiping with a guard, clipper and comb, the nice thing, you can place it there. No big rush, and you can almost see the hairs that are longer. And you can pick at it, comb it back down, and it'll soften up your blend. Habla español. Don't know what that means. No, I don't speak Spanish. Is that what it said? Somebody asked that. Appreciate the comment though. No, we don't speak Spanish. Maybe we have to look into that. We get a translator app or something. I heard they're out there. Do that one. Okay, I'm gonna drop his part in there on the side. A lot of time what I'll do, I'll take a little bit of holding spray. It's just an ISO plus holding spray. Of course, cover their eyes. Just like we'll do on front lines. Dry it real good.
What's up, young man?
What's up, bro?
Stay swagged up, man.
Got a lot of sauce in this.
Yeah, you do,
Hold on
bro.
a second. Give me a minute, okay? I'm trying to get my cup.
Okay, so now you can hear the difference in that crunch. See how that sounds? That's no different in a front line of a beard with spritz on it or hairspray on it,
That's
holy
because you
spray,
know how
whatever you're
I
using.
operate, like, I don't box with y'all.
Holds the hair still, basically.
Maybe 2, 3 in the morning. Yeah, and like our doors right here going in, their doors to that window going in. We hear everything.
Get that bottom line in
Where?
there. Zigzag, the bottom line.
Nope.
Make it kind of, you know what I mean?
I'll curve a little bit. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna drag this a little bit further down. Give us a little bit of room. And so that's nice too when you put that, those are the things we get high off of. You get excited about when you put that sharp line into your fade and they kind of complement each other. Okay, I'm just using my corner.
Chance, you know what I mean?
We were kind of joking, whoever just put habla español. No, I don't speak Spanish, but I don't know if you can hear me in English or you got anybody to translate it for you. Let us know how we can do that. If you guys know about any Spanish apps or anything like that, it's an awesome idea. It's a good idea. We'll do what we can do, put it together for y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna drag this down and then I'm gonna kind of curl it back up a tad bit. Add a little sauce to the situation. Again, these are some of the funner, actually some of my favorite haircuts. I like a good crisp clean haircut with or without a design. So when I do the designs, I don't want the design to just say, oh man, nice design, but it looks a little tacky. I don't know if you follow me on that. Any of you guys, you see a design, it's like they probably did a little too much, took away from the haircut. I think simple and clean is the way to go, especially on like people that might be a little older or whatnot. You want a cool, nice, crisp, clean haircut, but you don't want it to look kiddish. Do your designs on purpose. Do them clean. You can widen them out a little bit. Tap them with the razor, and they'll be just as sharp as your lineups. So there we go. That's where I want to be. I'm gonna stop. He's got a customer here. Again, we're just kind of toying around with this YouTube live. It's your boy, Coach Color, Color's Barbershop Supply Store. Appreciate the hits, appreciate the comments for real. And we'll get back with y'all. Let's make it happen. Color's Barbershop and Supply Store. We're live. Go live. We all live. It's just fun. You don't need that entertainment like just bust the guitar all the time. No, I'm serious. Because you know why? It's about the hits. I was thinking about the 360G, you know what I'm saying? Me and the wife was going back through it. She good at the entertainment stuff. She's like, really? If you think about it, they give you more entertainment than they is a haircut. You see what I'm saying? Because your work is just as nice as that. So we sat there and was like, let's see what's really going on. Looking at the 360G, it's the height. He do good work. Don't take nothing away from him. It's definitely the height. But what era are we in? People want to see sweet stuff, fun stuff, exciting stuff. You watch
The
something.
skinny jeans.
Yeah, all of that.
With the tail t-shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a swag. But, yeah,
We talking about that atmosphere of the shop and stuff. The one he shot, we got a nice shop period, but at the same time, colors.
But your shop don't look bad.
Yeah, we got a nice clean. We're just saying to shoot our shot, get on our A game. You feel me? So everything looks camera present. Nice. He posted, like, I see the fit. You see the tongues on it?
Yeah, I seen.
Posted it.
Oh, so swag. Swagged up.
Yeah, oh, you got checkers in his pocket.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's got his phone.
That's his wallet.
Oh, more sauce.
Crazy.
Hey.
So chill.